Hello! VideoGaming Father here with a new video review of fantasy tower defense game called Kingdom Rush. It was quite popular on mobile devices, but will it succeed on computers or should it better stay on smartphones? Is it variable enough to keep your attention? Will it be funny long time enough or does it quickly become boring? And can I recommend it to fellow fathers and their families? Stay with me and we will find the answers to these questions soon. The game is situated into a middle-aged fantasy environment, so it actually calls for some story explaining all your effort to defend your cute fantasy kingdom. And it's really there. Just please do not expect new Tolkien or Martin here. You are in the role of General of King Denas, and your task is to defend his kingdom from an invading force. In the beginning you defend small towns and villages, after that you need to protect the capital of the kingdom, and then you start pursuing invaders. You can read piece of story before the start of each level, but it's rather cliché that I'm sure you have seen or heard so many times that I dare to say that you will hardly lose anything if you do not read it. Gameplay is much more important here, so let's have a close look at its crucial parts. The key parts of each tower defense game are the towers and enemies, more precisely how interesting and variable they are. So let's start with your arsenal. We have 4 categories of towers here: range towers, magic towers, melee towers, and artillery towers. As you proceed through the game, you will unlock 3 upgrades for each tower. First level of range towers is Archer Tower. Archers fire slow but constant stream of arrows into enemies and causing them the physical damage. As they cause only low damage, they are effective only in the first stages of the game and only against unarmored foes. Later you can upgrade them to marksmen, sharpshooters, and on the 4 levels you have 2 options: rangers or musketeers. With each upgrade the towers do more damage, shoots faster, and has wider range. The towers on level 4 can have special abilities yet, like poisonous arrows for archers or sniper shot for musketeers that further improve the damage caused by them. The other category, magic towers, start with mages, which can be upgraded to adepts, wizards, and then, on level 4, to arcane wizards or sorcerer mages. In general, magic towers are slower than range towers, but causing more damage to enemies. Towers on the level 4 has also special abilities like teleport that removes enemies to some place farther from their target destination, or summon elemental which creates monstrous elemental that helps you to smash enemies until it's destroyed. Unlike range towers, they ignore enemies' physical armor, but are less effective on enemies with the magic resistance. So the key to succeed is to combine the both types wisely, not to have many weak spots in your defense. Those are 2 most used tower types in the game. The other tower category is melee towers, producing gradually militia, footmen, knights, and on the 4th level you can choose between paladins and barbarians. While the basic militia has very low health, do almost no damage and do not even have any armor, it's suitable just for delaying enemy forces a little bit. As you upgrade the towers, it produces better trained soldiers that hold longer and causing more damage to enemies. But the most important is that they can hold enemy waves longer, that helps attacking towers to provide them with more hits, so the best is to build them in the middle of the spots with high concentration of attacking towers. To hold enemy waves at one place as long as possible is very beneficial, because soon we will be facing more and more enemies coming in more and more waves, reminding the customers in the mall having 80% discounts. 4th level towers also produce soldiers with special abilities. For example, paladins can heal themselves and barbarians can throw axes or knights. Once skilled, it usually takes around 10 seconds to produce new soldiers. The last, and honestly least used by me, category are artillery towers. They can deal damage to more enemies at once, has widest range, but are very slow and most expensive. They can be gradually upgraded to bombard, howitzer, and big Bertha or Tesla tower on 4th level. They can also obtain special abilities like seeking missiles, napalm, or overcharge. I have not used this category of towers too much, as I could not see desired effect on enemies considering how much they cost. Maybe someone else can find better usage for them.
Dodge this!
buy the towers and their upgrades for, surprise surprise, money. In the start of each level you have some initial amount of money that you can build your initial defense structure for, then you collect the money for killed enemies. The stronger the enemy, the more money for them. Also, if you summon the next wave of enemies sooner, you can get some additional money for it. What kind of enemies will you be facing there?
Dodge this!
There is actually plenty of them, and I must say that most of them you know from various fantasy games or movies. So you can find here traditional goblins, orcs, trolls, wolves, giant spiders, or necromancers resurrecting these skeletons. You can also find less traditional enemy units like Yeti or Rocket Rider. Each unit has its strong and weak spots. Some have heavy armor, some of them have magic resistance, some are immune against the poison, some are the flying units, and so on. Therefore you need to build a well-balanced defense structure and to combine the towers and their types wisely. From time to time you also face giant bosses like Juggernaut, who fire missiles and summon little golem heads, or giant Yeti that instantly kills everything staying in his way and can freeze the nearby towers so they cannot shoot at him for a while. The wide variety of enemies is a big plus of the game, and quite often you get surprised by the new waves of enemies that are totally immune to the shots produced by your towers that manage to destroy previous waves easily.
Freedom!
Except of towers, you have also useful helpers in your battle against enemies. You have two spells that you can use against them. Body Reinforcement that spawns two soldiers that last for a certain amount of time and play the same role as soldiers produced by melee towers. The second is Rain of Fire, which rains down several meteors on the ground and is useful especially for eliminating small hordes of enemies. Both spells have certain cooldowns. Ball Reinforcements around 10 seconds and Rain of Fire huge 80 seconds. After that you can use them again, and sometimes they are really last minute lifesavers. The last but not least are the heroes. The special powerful units with a lot of hit points causing big damage and have some special abilities which they are unlocking by leveling up. The more enemies they kill, the higher level they get. The special abilities can be, for example, to strengthen the friendly units around the hero, multi-shot, or to summon friendly creature fighting on your side. Each hero is defined by 4 characteristics: health, damage, range attack, and speed. I have not mentioned yet that the game is using standard 3 stars ranking system. You have 20 lives in the start of each level. You are losing them for each enemy that passes through your defense systems to the other end of the screen. What are the stars for, except the good feeling of yourself? Probably use them between the levels to upgrade your towers and spells. For example, increasing range or damage for marksmen, ability to slow down enemies by magic attacks, or better health and armor for your reinforcements.
Live forever.
The graphics of the game is simple but good. You cannot expect detailed models or even photorealism here, but both units and environment are nicely drawn with a sense of humor that this game has a lot in it. The environments are variable, sometimes you fight in the field, sometimes in mountains, and sometimes on snowy terrain fields. Sounds are great here and highlight the humorous atmosphere of the game, from funny sounds that units do when dying to the funny one-liners produced by the towers and heroes. Music with its medieval tones is also nice to listen. Slowly but surely we are getting to the final verdict. We have really entertaining tower defense game here with interesting tower types and upgrades, wide variety of enemies, useful spells and heroes, good level design, fair economic model, and challenging yet not frustrating difficulty. Are there even any cons in the game? Well, maybe the fact that the game is not so long and it is not so cheap, around €10 on Steam and Go. However, we will get a great mix of features that keep your attention from the start to the very end. The levels are not so long, so it's suitable for short sunsets at the end of the working day and too suitable for fathers with their, let's say, school-age kids that can improve their strategic thinking and town management. I personally enjoyed this game a lot and thus I am giving it thumb up and Gaming Father's index 9 out of 10. Highly recommended. Hope that you like my Kingdom Rush video review, and if so, please do not forget to give it a thumb up and to subscribe to my Video Gaming Father's channel. Bye bye!